915 Talk is a production of Desert Voice Media. You can visit desertvoice.media to learn more.
915 TALK.
The world is looking at El Paso.
What will we say to the world? From the KELP studio in El Paso, this is 915 Talk.
And now your host.
Good afternoon, beautiful citizens of the borderland. This is 915 Talk, and I'm your host, Andy Frecka, and today we are broadcasting from the heart of the world's largest borderplex. We're here at the KELP studio in El Paso, and we have Mac Daddy Del Norte on the board. Mac Daddy, how you doing?
Yes, I'm doing good, Andy.
Yeah, so Mac Daddy, I know you're into music.
I am.
Yeah. What about the visual arts? How do you do with painting and drawing?
You know what? I got into it, but I don't do too well. I don't know much about it. I wanted to draw when I was younger, and I could do some stuff, but not that good as other people.
But you walked away from the drawing.
Well, because I'm better at playing rather than drawing.
You're better at the music.
Yes.
You're better at the music. Well, today we have a very special guest.
Oh, okay.
Do you know why she's special?
No, not at all. I don't.
Well, first of all, she is the unique expression of an endlessly creative God.
Nice.
But secondly, this is our first international guest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's not here at the station.
Mm-hmm.
She's in Italy.
Wow.
Yeah, and
far away.
Yeah, and you know, I often talk about my friends around the world on this program. I talk about all the travels I've done. I talk about how I lived in Russia all those years. So she's actually Russian.
Oh, nice.
and I thought it would be cool for me to start introducing some of these amazing people I met over the years. So
yeah, definitely.
So she was born and raised in Russia, but then she started an art academy in Florence, Italy. But even if you're not really interested in art, I think she has an important message for us that we can learn through art. So there's a lot for us to unpack over this next hour with her, and I'm excited because I've met with her and her husband. They're good friends of Rachel and me, and I've also had the opportunity to be at their art academy in Florence, Italy.
Oh, cool!
It's the real thing.
Wow.
So looking forward to just learning more over this next hour. So without further ado, let's give a very warm Borderland welcome to the one, the only, Nadia Molugova.
Hello.
Nadia, welcome to 915 Talk.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Yeah, of course. So is this your first time on the radio?
No, guys, it's not my first time, but I'm so privileged to be with you.
Good answer. I like it. So, Nadia, it's fun because we met, I think it was maybe 16 years ago the first time, maybe more.
Maybe more.
Yeah, maybe more. I was down in the city of Rostov, which is in the south of Russia. You were there, and you were sharing just your passion for art and all of that. And it's funny because we've known each other all these years, and there are parts of your story that I don't know. So I'm looking forward to hearing more of your story. But you grew up in the town of Shakhti in the Rostov region. So for those who don't know, Shakhti in Russian literally means mines, like for mining. It's a coal mining town. And it's interesting to have an art story starting in a mining town. Where does art come in when it's coal mining all around?
Yes, practically, I remember myself about 6 years old when I was working with my grandma around special school. In Russia, you know, we have a very strict education when we're children, which is we have education started very early for ballet, for gymnastic, for art, for music. And I remember I was walking around, this is art school with my grandma, and I was my 6, and I told her, could we go and just look at? And she said, yes, sure, let's go inside. Which is, I remember we enter inside and we ask from which age it started. And they said, normally it's from 7, 8. But it was one great professor, and she told me, do you want to already try? I said, yes, I would love to. And she gave me just make some painting. I did some bird, actually, I did it. And she said, you're so talented. I will take you even from 6. It's how I start my professional journey in art from 6 years old.
So you're walking around this art school. And had you thought about art before that?
I always love, like art, but I like this is story what I do remember. It's and but partially it's because my grandma always repeated me. She was so insisted, and her six, she's already known what she wanted to do. It's very unique for child, which is I wanted to help her, and this how story start. After this school, which is we have a special high school. We're going for normal high school at daytime, and after we're going to those special schools or ballet, as I mentioned, or music school. And normally it's happening 3 times a week, at least per 3 hours, from 6 up to 14. We're spending in those schools, which is I did start from 6 years old, which is at 13. I've been finishing my first degree in art. After that, I decided to go to Rostov-on-Don. And it was a lot of concourse. It was still perestroika time, which is communism not already existed, but nothing else been built yet, which is period was very tough for Russia generally, because a lot of family lost the work. Parents been always drunk, because especially fathers who don't know how to support their families. And generally perestroika, everybody, like special maybe you in America thinking about this period, oh, was great period, but for Russia it wasn't that great period, because came a lot of mafia. They start controlling a lot of areas, and this is came to period when I was studied in Rostov-on-Don. And it wasn't easy period, and it was very difficult to enter for most famous in Rostov-on-Don art college, which is I been studying this 5 years, and received my profession as an artist. Every day we had very particular classes. Every day we work with a life model. My artistic journey, I was so happy. This is something what I've been choosing. I wasn't much support from my family. Again, my grandma, she did support me and she brought me there, but I remember I had a lot of discussion, and I understand my students who's coming to me and they're telling me, like, we have a lot of discussion if it's art, special visual art, could give you possibility to live with it. A lot of doubts, especially now when art became so conceptual. And even in my time, it was a lot of doubts from parents' side, like if it's good profession for young girl. But I was insisting on that, and I was pass all exam and enter in the number 13 in this college. This is considered like top college in our area, Rostov-on-Don area, which has been curated by Repin's Academy from St. Petersburg. And like I could say from a point of view, even my parents now, I believe it's very important follow your dream, which is if you don't know your dream, it's sad. You need to discover it. And if you decided and you know your dream, it's important to stay on that dream. And even when people not understanding you, just to be consistent, because very often very talented people, they just give up with their dream because of economical reason, a lot of different situations. But it's very important to stay stable. And on top of that, when I finished this education as a spiritual person, I remember I was looking for God, for absolute. And in Russia, like it's a Christian country, everybody Christian. I remember myself from the beginning, like we always went to Orthodox church, but I didn't know actually the God. And during my education time, I was looking for God. I was like really looking for something which is I will be understanding like it is something above us. And this is research brought me to Protestant church, and this is research brought me to YWAM, University of the Nation. And I took a first school which is called Disciple Training School. And was happened very funny things, because I remember I was in my last year in my college, art college, and I done my diploma project. And for diploma project, I decided to take YWAM, as a company, because on my diploma project I was needed to making like firm style. And I've been actually called to the director, and she told me, "You went in the sect. They're going to wash your brain absolutely. And this is not Orthodox church. It's different, strange things. And we're not allowed you to follow with your diploma project with this company." Which is, yes, I did it. In the end, I decided to, like, I've been forced to change company. But after I graduated, I went straight in the disciple training school. And in disciple training school, I was, as I mentioned previously, was searching for God vision about my life. And I've been in my outreach, and it was in city Mozdok. That time in Mozdok, it was war, which is, I remember when we entered in the city, it was it was no people. It was daytime, it was no people on the streets. And we've been helping with one church there, and we had our prayer time at 5 o'clock in the morning. And at 5 o'clock in the morning, church was full of people. I don't know how many. It was 100, maybe 200 people. And we've been supporting this church and praying with them. And in same time, I was praying for God giving me wisdom. What about my life? And now I already received profession. I already know how to paint and how to draw. I finished with the best marks. We called it red diploma, which is highest what you could receive, and gold medal. And I was like, but what I need to do in my life? Like, what you, God, wanted from me to do? And I saw the vision. I saw the bird which is coming from horizontal line, and they've been passing in front of me, and they catch my attention because I was praying in the church building which is don't have a roof. I saw in the same horizontal line another group of the birds. They've been coming to me, stop just in front of me, and turn on the left. Another group of the birds came, stop in front of me, and turn on the right. And I heard a voice, God telling me what, as this is group of the bird coming in different direction, I will be develop the gift of the people and sending them in a different direction. And I was so shocked about such a big words and vision. And I understood it's about education. It's about something like some project international, which is I'm going to send those birds. I was so fascinated, but I wasn't really clear for me how exactly to follow that dream. And I remember we met with some person who been working in Kiev, Steve Ryan, and he invited me. It's again YVM Kiev, and he invited me to lead with him first art school in Kiev YVM base, which is we're done with him. This is cool, but after that, I was still searching and praying, like how to go to the step of this vision what God opened me. And God told me, like, you're going to study in Italy. And I was like, okay, I'm in Russia. And you probably, and you know what, if you're from small city, from not really rich family, it's a little bit tough to go to study in Europe. And I was like, okay, that's a big challenge. How that will be possible? And God told me, look and choose a school where you would like to study. I look, and I point up the school in Florence, because it's birthplace of Renaissance. I thought more knowledge what I've been receiving in Russia, of course, much more I will be receiving in Italy, because it's Renaissance start from this city, from this country. And I remember some friend of mine came to me, and he said, like, okay, what's your next step? And I said, I don't know, like, I feel I need to go to Italy study. And I remember he did ask me, like, how much it cost? I said, it's about 15,000 just education, plus, like, I need money to live. And he was looking at me, like, it's a lot of money. And I said, yeah, it's a lot of money, which is, I remember we left with this kind of conversation. And after 3 days, I receiving message from him. And he said, I would like to support you for all your years education. And God told me to do it.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, that is the huge miracle. I did apply for that school. And actually, I've been accepted, and I remember I did receive huge mail about how many it was candidates for this year of education, and I was choosing one of the best, uh, which is my application was passed, and I was invited to Florence. But I'm Russian, and it's quite a big challenge for Russian receive a visa, which is I remember I went to the consul, and to book a consul, you need to do it at least in advance 2 months. And I come into the consul for my appointment. They're looking for my document and they're telling me, I'm sorry, we can't open visa for you because university, it's actually a branch of American university. And we're not sure like it will be work out, which is, we're sorry, we're not giving you the visa. And distance between Rostov and Moscow, if you still remember a distance in Russia, it's like 1 day travel on bus, which is I came to that appointment traveling whole day.
And night,
I
probably. Yes.
received this is feedback from consul. I living back in Rostov again 1 day back. I'm coming back and telling my husband, like, they told me they're not going to open visa to me. And he encouraged me, okay, let's pray about it. And I prayed, and God telling me, go back to Moscow. I'm like, that's really crazy. Okay, I will go back. I come back to Moscow consul, and my appointment off, which is I don't have an appointment. It's huge bodyguard guy standing in the consul office entrance, and he's like, "You're not on list. Sorry, I can't leave you." I said, I've been a week ago. Could you please check? This is my name." And he checked my name and said, "Yeah, you've been 1 week ago." I said, "I need to show more documents for the consul. Could you please give me pass?" Same consul sitting there, and he's like, "I said you a week ago, I'm not going to open your visa." And I'm like, "Okay, but do you have main consul here?" He's like, "Yes, we do have main consul." He seems like being so mad on me. Like, "Okay, follow me." I was follow him, and here is a beautiful lady in her maybe 70s, an Italian one, but she does speak Russian. And she's like, "Okay, you're artist." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm artist." And she's like, "Okay, I'm going to send a request about your education in Rome, Rome consul. And as soon as they will be answering me, I will let you know. But you back in next week in same day." I'm like, 1 week to wait? She's like, "Yes, back after 1 week and same day." And it's good, my friend Veronica. She was living in Moscow. I'm calling her. I'm like, "Veronica, I'm so sorry. Could I stay with you 1 week?" And she's like, "I'm renting in a room and I have just one bed. If you're okay to sleep with me 1 week in same bed." I'm like, "I'm okay for anything. Like, if you're okay with me." She's like, "Yeah, come on, come." Which is I'm sleeping with Veronica per whole week, coming back for next week to the consul. Lady, she's nice. She's like bringing me in her office like, "I'm so sorry, girl. I didn't receive yet any feedback from a consul from Rome. You need come in the same day after again 1 week." I'm like, "What?" Which is I'm going again called Veronica. I'm like, "Veronica, it's second week. Could I sleep with you in one bed?" Oh, Veronica, she's a open heart person. Okay, which is I'm sleeping with Veronica second week, but in same time I'm praying all time, and I receiving really strong message in my heart, and God telling me, doesn't matter what people will tell you, even main consul, doesn't matter what people will tell you. I'm telling you, you're going to be in Florence and you're going to study. And I remember myself, especially with emotional condition, which is came to that appointment to the consul. I was expecting. For me, it doesn't matter what she will telling me. I know what God told me, and I know His will, which is I am coming absolutely peaceful this time. And she's looking at me. She's like, "I'm sorry, I still don't have any feedback for you from Rome, but do you have a portfolio with you?" I'm like, "Actually, I do have some photo of my work. Do you want to see?" She's like, "Yes." And I giving her a photo of my artwork. She's looking at my portfolio and she's like, "Oh, wow, you're so talented, like you have a lot of potential. Wait me here." She's coming back in 10 minutes with a visa for Italy open per whole year.
Wow.
And that's how my journey in Italy started. And but most funny things, it's when I came to academy here, I understood what type of education what we have in Russia. It's globally actually very rare and almost not existing. Which is in Italy, I've been studied in 3 academies. I've been studied in first one, which is I came, and it's called Florence Academy. And it's American Academy, and they're working with direction which is called size. Who don't know artistic terminology? It's when you're coming from a perspective distance and you're looking at silhouette of the model and you start to copy, started from the silhouette and goes towards the part of the black and white and the tonal direction. And it's not how we're working in Russia at all, which is all my years of education from 6 years old, I mentioned. I've been like each time I repeated it every day, like you not copy things what you see. You're not copy shadows what you see. You're analyzing what you're doing. You're analytically approaching what you're doing. You're constructing what you're doing. To be an artist, it's a very big responsibility because you need to know anatomy, composition, proportion, color study, all different technique, what it's possible globally. And through that knowledge, you choosing your own way and your own style. It's how I've been brought up. And here I am in that academy, which is telling me it is one method. It's called size. You need copy very well what you see, and you need to be done very well with all shadings, almost as a camera. It should be illusion, absolutely as a photograph.
Yeah. So Nadia, I need to interrupt. I do enjoy this conversation. We need to go deeper into it because for those who aren't catching this, Nadia, of course, is a powerhouse. I think everyone caught that with her journey, but I think she's making fun of the American education system, and we do need to dive deeper into that as well. If you're just joining us, we're with Nadia Molugova. She is the founder of the Florence Academy of Classical Arts in Florence, Italy. She's originally from a small coal mining town in the Rostov region in the south of Russia. She's someone that I do have the privilege of knowing for many years, maybe close to 20 years. And it's quite a journey she's been on. I'd never heard the story of her getting her Italian visa. Love that. I didn't know the story of her being 6 years old and first going to art school. Love that as well. I have so many questions, but we do need to go into a break. And this is your daily reminder that 915 Talk is listener supported and is a production of Desert Voice Media. And I would also add, if this conversation about art is interesting to you, please let us know. We would love to have more of these kind of conversations, but you can also watch this conversation on YouTube. Our channel is 915 Talk on YouTube. Just watch it. You can see Nadia's passion as she's sharing about her journey and about art. And I love the fact that you can listen to the radio, but with YouTube, you can also watch the radio. We're going into a break. Do not touch that dial.
We'll be right back. Don't touch that dial.
915 Talk is listener supported and is a production of Desert Voice Media. That's right. It's people just like you who make this program possible. Together with Desert Voice, you can learn how to better serve our neighbors and pray for our community. To become a Desert Voice Media partner, you can visit desertvoice.media. That's right. That's the website, desertvoice.media. Take a look and join us today in reaching our borderland for Christ.
915.
Testify.
I got stricken with this horrible disease called multiple sclerosis, and I was given a 4-year death sentence. I said, no, I'm not going to take this. And I said, no, my God is greater. With God's help and the encouragement of my family, I did what was necessary. I did what I needed to do. Something I always wanted to do since I was 11 years old. It's getting into the Border Patrol, and I succeeded. It was a gut check and a real kick in the teeth, if you will. I had always been a sports player. Always been active since I was 3 years old in sports. And this year, I celebrate 14 years with my wife. The 14 extra years that the Lord's given me, I was able to marry my wife and have the children we have. My name is BJ Hunt. I'm from El Paso, Texas, and I give all the glory to God. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for what He did for me. And if He can do it for me, He can do it for you.
And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb.
And by the word of their testimony.
desertvoice.media.
We're back. You're listening to 915 Talk.
And we're back. And if you're just joining us, we're with Nadia. She is the founder of the Florence Classical Arts Academy. A good friend of mine, known her and her husband. They're good friends for many, many years. Originally from a coal mining town in Russia, now running this arts academy. Nadia was sharing the story of growing up in this coal mining town. She's 6 years old. She walks by an art school with her grandmother, and she says, "Grandma, I want to go in." And at the age of 6, she was allowed to join this art school. She was sharing about how in Russia the art school is very different than in America. I know that because my kids went to music school in Russia, and music school in Russia, just like art school, it's a separate brick and mortar structure. It's you go to your regular school all day, and then for hours in the evening, you go to art school, music school, sports, whatever specific area you're most interested in. So Mac Daddy Del Norte, you would have gone to music school from about 4 in the afternoon to about 8 in the evening after being in school all day. But Nadia, how many hours a day were you in the art school starting at 6?
Yeah, by 3 hours, which is 3 times a week.
3 hours, 3 times a week. So it was 9 hours a week of specific art training. And before we went into the break, you were kind of poking fun at the American School of Art. and God made a way for you to get into Italy. What a fun story of you getting your visa and having to share a bed with Veronica in Moscow, the whole story. But what you were saying is the American system of art is very much based on copying what you see, like what a camera would do. And the Russian system is you need to understand the substance of what you're looking at so that you can I don't know, I guess draw or paint it from any direction, any distance, no matter what the lighting is. Is that pretty much correct the way I described it?
Yes, absolutely. But it's not all your school like this. You have it's became very popular. For instance, this kind of direction, which is called size, and it's not necessary like one school. It's actually a lot of school who follow those kind of direction size. Again, from my background, this is will be considering unprofessionally for us, just because we are trying to from early age observe form three-dimensionally, same way as a sculptor doing, which is three-dimensionally understanding form, deeper understanding all what you see with a lot of knowledge about it. And it's example, one method you could learn in 1 year, but it's not giving you possibility to become professional artist. Professional artists is who know all different methods, including example size, all different, not one, but all of them, but who could come out with their own piece and not copying that piece, but actually trying to do something unique. And this is what is different. Like if you always copy things, you could even copy things what you see. It's not necessary you're just taking photo and you copy from photo. No, you could copy even life model, but way how you observing life model, that is very important. And you could observe it, as I already mentioned, with an analytical understanding, or you could copy just outline part of the light and part of the shadow. And what is problem about this kind of method? What if you using just that method, in the end, it's difficult to create your own piece. Because example, you saw the dream, somebody flying in the sky, it's angels example, and you would like to paint those angels flying in the sky. Who going to fly for you for 300 hours on the sky, like and in still position until you will be finally come out with your painting? Of course, it's absurd. Of course, Michelangelo, Leonardo, they didn't work that way, because when it's Capella of Sixteen been done, it's everything came through knowledge, but not from observation, just simply copy things what you see. Which is this kind of method, it could exist, but I repeat myself, it's not, in Russia, it's not considering professionally. It's, but after that education, I decided to go to Italian school. And I passed. I even don't know how. I didn't speak like zero Italian. And first year they make fun on me. But probably because entering the exam and they've been appreciated what I'm doing, I did pass all entrance exam in most famous Italian academy. It's called Academy Brera. And it's in Milan, which is, I've been finishing most important Italian school, Brera, in Milan, 3 years of my bachelor. And after I came to Florence, Italy, and I did finish in another school, Academy Belle Arti, which is most famous Italian school here in Florence, I did finish my master program. And in this particular schools, I learned what actually, if you will go to any government school in Europe, it will be just in a conceptual art. Because inside of the school, even if approach before in 18th century, it was a classical art, it's not existing anymore. All professor, they're teaching you conceptual approach about art. Some professors do appreciate classical or figurative art, but mainly they're pushing students towards the conceptual idea. And it's come out with another type of the problem, because it was okay for me, because I came to academy, Italian academy, already prepared as an artist. I already had my long way of Russian school preparation. But for people, for Italian students who didn't had as me from 6 years old, professional children's school, after college, of course, they're coming almost as a zero preparation level. And from that, it's difficult for them to come out for their own style, because they don't know anything. And to come out with conceptual idea, it's difficult, because no one teaching them how to draw and how to paint, what is anatomy, how to build good composition. It's mainly intellectual process when you're discussing with professor about your portfolio, about your ideas, and trying to make it conceptual. Which is, I learned what actually the school or knowledge, it's not existing inside it. I was dreaming to come to Italy in government school, and I was dreaming what knowledge of Michelangelo, Leonardo, Botticelli. Here I am, I will get them. But no one of the professor anymore teaching about this, because they're considering that old things, it's past, like it's not anymore interest, and it's not anymore part of education. But need, it's existing. People actually don't know when they're applying for education what that will be the way of teaching. And I remember it was a lot of my colleagues, especially on first and then second year of academy, then there was questioning like, I would like to draw the portrait. No one teaching me how to do it. I would like to know very well anatomy. No one explained me very well that part. And God start to really profoundly tell me about, okay, this is the time. And I did start academy, Florence Classical Arts Academy in Florence. And I remember first group of the students were already straight away without any advertising. We start to get 20 people immediately started academy. And from each year, interest of the people and desire to learn something new, which is not really known in Europe and even in America, it's we see more and more need for really good knowledge. And with a group of the professor, we start to build didactic program. But of course, it was a lot of, again, miracle, because I didn't came with a portfolio money when I was like, okay, let's open it, that's very easy, let's do it. I came for I came in country which is, you even can't imagine the way or level of bureaucracy what Italian have. It's like unimaginable. You even can't imagine what kind taxes Italian have. It's again unimaginable. Which is, and I am art education. I don't have any actually degree about business setup, and all this kind of things. I just have a vision from God. That's it. And on that one, we started to do an academy. And actually, I remember, I will telling you now one story, and I was laughing to hear that story. Academy already existing 15 years, and COVID started, and my pastor, in which church, Italian church I'm coming, he's coming to me and telling me like, Nadia, do you have any job available? Because I do have some need. I wanted to find some part-time job. And I said, sure, you're so welcome. We are so happy if you will be part of our journey. And he told me, I would like to tell you now one story. I never told you, but I think it's time to share with you. And I was very curious, like, what you talking about? And he's like, about 15 years ago, I remember we were sitting in pastor meeting. All Florence pastors have been sitting together, and that said, like, we did receive, all of us, we did receive an email from this is Russian girl. And she's, she's writing about her dreams. She have a dream to open academy in Florence, and she wanted to do this and that. And she's asking us support about it, even spiritual support. And he said, actually, we laugh about it. We thought, or she's crazy, or she's super rich. Because who else will be coming in Florence, Florence, and started art academy, like you should be or crazy or rich to do it. Which is, we discuss her a letter, and we even decided not to answer to her, because we really wasn't believing in the things what she's doing. I'm sitting in front of him, my eyes open more and more. I'm like, okay, David, and now you are after 15 years here asking me a job, right? If I'm correct? And he's like, yes, do you have something? I said, sure. But it's how reaction of the people was on my vision, like just it was too crazy.
That is funny. So Nadia, you talked earlier this hour about how when you were a teenager, you were searching for absolutes.
Yes.
Are there absolutes in art?
I could tell you with my over 40 age what artist, it's person who should be open always to grow. Which is, if you coming to the point when you are super satisfied with everything what you're doing, and you're thinking you are master and nothing else will actually develop to you, you're done. As an artist, you're done, honestly. You maybe you could repeat your good things, but you never will grow. Which is, I'm telling you what absolute in art, It's a very subjective topic, but definitely from point of artist, don't stop to learn. That is should be always open options.
Yeah, and then you see modern art. What do you have to say about much of the modern art that we see?
I am living in the modern world, and we're living in the contemporary world, which is even what we're doing now. It's a conceptual or contemporary, like. But what kind of background you have? I would like to say what if you received so strong school, which is giving you tools, giving you possibility to come out with your own style and to understand what you know very well, how to draw, how to paint, law, which is it's like a language, like if you don't know the language, if you will coming now to Italy, and first things, you need to learn the language, you need to learn alphabet, you need to learn phrases, you need to learn grammar. Same things about classical art. For the art, it's foundation, it's basic, it's a knowledge, what you need to receive. And more good knowledge you will have, which is my English, not that good. You know why? Because my knowledge of grammar, not that good. If I will be learning that better, probably our conversation could be much more rich now and I could express myself much better. But my level of preparation wasn't that high. But this is same things about art. As higher your preparation level is, it's more freedom you will have in the future to express yourself. Which is I could put paragon that is with language. And about conceptual or modern art, again, as good base you will be receiving in classical art. And after, if you would like to be modern, if you would like to work as a pointillist, if you would like to work as a modernist, if you would like to work as a classical artist, it's up to you. But you have really solid base. This is what is missing, and this is what is missing in a lot of art education now, unfortunately.
Right. Okay. So you're saying the base for all art is classical art, and that's why you do the classical
Absolutely.
art. And it is interesting in your story you share. You were hoping to find all these things by going to Italy, and you didn't find them, but God said that you were supposed to be the one to create the academy to teach others, and that's why you created the Florence Classical Arts Academy. Now, why was Florence and the Renaissance so important to you? Because I'll just put it this way: for most Americans, we only know about Michelangelo because of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So, why is this important?
You know, that is again coming towards the education. It's very important to receive classical education approach, and you need to receive approach even in art history, which is again more you receiving knowledge, more intellectual and actually more horizontal open for you. It's important to receive art history knowledge very deeply to understand why so important Renaissance art, why what Renaissance actually did it. Because if it's an example not existing those period, art will be probably maybe it will be developed in different ways, but this Renaissance did push development on the arts so strong, which is about perspective, about anatomy, about color understanding. All those kind of important things we start to learn from that period. Maybe people will be still draw human body as a sticks if will be not learning anatomy. Which is it's why Renaissance important, because it's coming to the roots of actually development in whole art direction. And it started from visual art, but actually Renaissance touching each, even film, even music, like everything, like very corresponded or very connected towards the classical rules, such as Leonardo rules about gold session. It's existing everywhere. Like you can't now watch the film if, example, regisseur don't know gold session rules. And this has come from Renaissance time.
Yeah, yeah. It was so fun to visit the Academy in Florence, just to see the history there, and as you put it, to see the basis for what we see today in the world around us. From that incredible moment in human history. We're about to go into a break. Before we go into the break, I do want to give the website for the Florence Classical Arts Academy. It's Artac, so it's artac.org. I was talking to Nadia's husband Constantine about a week ago. He said that the classes are all full and all of that. There is an online course available. We'll talk about more about that after the break. Do not touch that dial.
We'll be right back. Don't touch that dial.
915 Talk is listener supported and is a production of Desert Voice Media. That's right. It's people just like you who make this program possible. Together with Desert Voice, you can learn how to better serve our neighbors and pray for our community. To become a Desert Voice Media partner, you can visit desertvoice.media. That's right. That's the website, desertvoice.media. Take a look and join us today in reaching our borderland for Christ.
915.
Testify.
I want to give God all the honor, all the glory, all the praise. There was a time in my life that I was lost in drugs, using and selling, living a sinfully life for 24 years of my life. I was empty, full of hate, anger, bitterness, selfish lies, and perversion. God saved me by His grace. I'm no longer empty. I'm no longer lost. He changed my mind, my heart, and my behavior. I'm no longer slave of anything. Today I know that there's power in the name of Jesus. Today I know that there's purpose. Today I know that I'm fearfully and wonderfully created to make impact through Him, to speak truth, to serve, to give, to love, to forgive, to be kind, to have accountability, to preach by example, and to always know that the victory is His will be done. My name is Lev Davidovich. If God can do this for me, He can do it for you.
And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb.
And by the word of their testimony.
Desertvoice.media.
We're back. You're listening to 915 Talk.
And we're back. If you just joined us, that's on you. That's your fault. You've missed out on a great conversation. We're with Nadia. She is the founder of the Florence Classical Arts Academy. She's originally from Russia, from a small coal mining town. At the beginning of this conversation, she shared just how she started studying art in a Russian art school in that coal mining town at the age of 6. She then went on to study art in university in Russia. Then she went on to Italy and studied in 2 universities there. But God gave her a dream, a vision of using art to, really teach many people about what's been lost in art is the way I understand it. And that's why she founded the Florence Classical Arts Academy. Nadia, I'm going to say something political. Not everyone is super pleased with Russia's actions in the past few years, and I'll say, I consider the situation currently to be tragic, but there are so many beautiful things that come out of Russia, and one of those things is this understanding of art. Even you mentioned this artist Repin, who I think probably a lot of people don't know. But what is one or two things that the Russian art community and history has to offer the world?
If it started from a really beginning, which is Peter First, he came to Italy, he came to Europe, and art in Europe been already developed. which is it was already a lot of classical artists developing things, and he was so amazed by the level of art, and he decided to open first academy in Russia, which is called Imperial Academy. And he started to do it in St. Petersburg. And first teacher what been brought from Europe, from Italy, and from France is been first teacher in those academy. They taught Russians, and after from generation to generation, Russian practically develop somehow their own way or style, I could say, which is called now like Russian style. But the knowledge and approach been taken from Italian really strong drawing school, and influence been so much from France, especially Impressionism been influenced so much about cold and warm relationship, which is somehow we have very classical and um, very, I could say, analytical approach for drawing goes to Italian Renaissance time, and very impressionism way of the painting, which is have a lot of color in it. And this mix what we are offering for our student, which is knowledge what we offering in school. It's knowledge what I did receive as a student, but you remember story. I said what I've been 6 years old when I came to those school, and normally from 7 or 8 years old started to learn professional approach in the art in Russia. Here not existing anything like that. Even art college, it's not in same level what we have, which is practically in Europe situation what we have the students who is over 18 and who is coming with almost almost no knowledge, very very basic understanding about visual art, classical visual art. And we was needed to prepare our own program, which is will be helping for students not at 6 but over 18 to learn everything what I've been learning from 6. And we've been spending a lot of time with a group of the professor to develop the way how we will be approaching step by step of didactic program in our academy. We did took all our knowledge. We've been mix the all this is topics what we had in the years, and we've been come out with didactic what will be helping students even with no knowledge in 3 years develop already as an artist, which is didactic what we're offering in Florence Classical Arts Academy. It's not existing in Russia. We come out with something absolutely new. And this is didactic. We did it in 2 modes. We did it in person in academy, which is you could come and study with us in Florence, or you could do it online and come and study with us just for workshop, or you could take it as a hybrid program, which is a block you have online and a big block you have offline, which is those 3 mode what we are now offering for that didactic. This is didactic being recognized by Tuscany region, which is we giving even like academy have Tuscany region accreditation for those particular knowledge what we are offering for our student. That is something what we're doing.
For those of you who don't know, didactic is just like a study program. It's just the fancy educational word for that. And your program has been, as you said, Nadia, has been recognized in Tuscany. You're accredited in Italy, correct?
Yeah. Yes, we are. Yeah, we're accredited in Tuscany region. Yes.
Yeah, that's quite the feat, given all the bureaucracy of Italy that you referred to before.
Yeah, I would like escape this part. Yes, it's quite tough. Yeah, it's quite tough process in generally, and actually to have an academy, it's not easy. Right now we open and a branch in America, and you guys have much more smoother and much more welcoming system respect of what Italy offering. That I could confirm.
Where will it be in America? El Paso, Texas, I hope?
Yes, we open a branch in Kentucky, but mainly now it's working on online or hybrid mode, which is if you would like, you are welcome to visit us. And we are in collaboration with wonderful people who are actually working with animation, and they're just been open, and they've been so kind, and our vision going together so smoothly, which is they invited us to be their partner. We're sister schools there.
Yeah, that's super cool. The animation is one of the, I guess, modern expressions that really work well out of having that classical base. I remember when I was in Florence, I was looking at the animation work. I think you had some students from Norway who had gone through your 3-year program and had gone on to run a successful animation company there in Norway. The possibilities are kind of endless when you have that base. About how many students do you have in Florence for your 3-year program?
We're not allowed to take more than 60 because our building it's already small for the number of students what we have, which is now we are in fundraising for 3 million for new building. What we already actually saw the building. It's beautiful, which is we in fundraising for that to give possibility for more people receiving this knowledge.
Wow. Yeah, and the same God who got you the visa after spending 2 or 3 weeks on the same bed as Veronica in Moscow will provide the 3 million. The same God who provided for your Italian training and has been with you through the whole journey. I know He'll provide for you in this as well, because I do believe what you're doing is important. It's significant. That's why we're sharing it with our radio audience here. If you just joined us, you need to go to desertvoice.media, find this conversation. You can listen to it in podcast form, Spotify, iHeart, Apple Podcasts. You can watch it on YouTube. We need to learn about all these different parts of the world. Also, in speaking with Konstantin, Nadia's husband, he said a lot of their students are homeschool. So it's students whose parents really want their kids to learn about art, but maybe the parents don't know how to teach them. And so they're taking that online course there in homeschool. And the other one is retired folks. A lot of retired folks are taking that online course, which is a great option. The website is ARTAC. It's ARTAC.org. ARTAC.org. Nadia, love what you're doing. Thank you for sharing this journey with us today.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so pleased to be with you guys.
Yeah, and you and Konstantin and the kids, the boys, you need to come to El Paso sometime. We have quite the landscapes that you can, desert landscapes, all kinds of desert landscapes that you can draw and paint. But would love to see you here, and to our listening community, if you would like to see an art seminar run by Nadia in El Paso, let me know. We didn't talk about this in advance, but I'm sure we can figure it out somehow.
Absolutely.
So would love to see that here in the borderland. But again, thank you, Nadia. And as we say, let's learn to love our city and love our neighbor, but let's learn to love everything that we're learning from around the world, and learn how we can implement those things here in our community. And in all of this, let's give God all the glory. This has been 915 Talk. You have been listening to 915 Talk, a production of Desert Voice Media. In order to listen to previous editions of 915 Talk, just visit desertvoice.media. Let's learn together to love our city, love our neighbors, and give God all the glory.